up? This is Rama Screen with my old buddy, the comic book geek, one of my fellow nerds, David Lee. How you doing?
Hey,
Dude, so we're gonna be talking about Power Rangers the movie, man. I gotta say, I had so much fun. I had my reservation at first because you and I grew up Power Rangers fans, so we had our expectations. I was a purist. I was like, dude, what you gotta change the costumes? But man, it really touched my the Breakfast Club fan in me. It really had that detention thing going on. I like it, and it's really grounded. Even and it has some cheesy parts. That's what I was going for. Like the reason why I love the original series is because it was campy. So it does have some sort of a campy element to it. But what do you think, Dave?
I loved it. Speaking as the Power Ranger purist and fan from when I was a kid, I went in a little trepidatious
Yeah.
because they were like, oh yeah, we're making it grim, dark, realistic Power Rangers. But at the same time, they really retained the trueness of the original series to an extent. I mean, come on. Midway through the movie, and yes, people, there are going to be spoilers. So if you don't like the spoilers,
Spoiler alert!
make with the clicky clicky and go bye bye. You're not wanted here. No, I'm kidding. Now, when midway, like right when all the Rangers got the Zords going and they did that whole run thing, you heard the '95 movie theme. Come on, you
Come on.
can't get any more of a love letter to the Ranger series than that.
And I gotta tell you, I love the fact that they made Zordon, Bryan Cranston's character.
Mhm.
He himself has his own dilemma. It's like he's very very suspicious of these two teenagers. He's like,
Yep.
what, I can handle this myself. He's not one of those just bossy kind of Zordon that I was expecting. Just like, okay guys, you got to do this. He actually has personality. I love that about this dimensional side of him. What do you think about that?
I liked it in the fact that how do I explain it? So you with the original series,
Yeah,
thing
take
was
me back. Take me
cut.
back.
When the original series, everything was cut and dry.
Mm-hmm.
You had 30 minutes. The Rangers were wholesome. Zordon was their paragon, their shining white light. Never a problem with him or the Rangers. They never had anything going wrong for them. They were always, everything's great. We have everything we need. We're the popular kids. Not this time around. Zordon had his own problems. He didn't want to trust Jason. And halfway through the movie, when you find out that, oh yeah, hey, look, Zordon's got ulterior motives, that added a touch of realism for the adult fans,
Mm.
for us, and also added a layer to Zordon that we've never known, and made it that much more. He made it that much more human, to put it bluntly.
Now,
I love.
let's talk about the cast. These are young folks. These are teenagers. They were. I don't know if they were even alive when when the original series came out. They're probably like in the wombs or something. But so because I'm sure you already remember. there were many. There were many iterations, right, of Power Rangers. I think the last one was Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. I remember right. I think that was the last one, I believe, until it disappeared from TV. I forgot. There were many versions. So I thought they were gonna try to get from those ones so that these kids, I don't know, can relate to it somehow. When they were tiny, they saw the show on TV. But no, I'm glad that they go with the original series, and I think, dude, the cast is perfect. I was not expecting it to be perfect, but they got everybody just right for the part. What do you think?
So yeah, the elephant in the room. I'm just gonna go ahead and strike blood instantly here because that's what I do. Obviously, we're gonna talk here about Trini being lesbian and Billy being autistic. Let's just get it out the way. I had no problem with Trini being a lesbian. The
Mm.
way they handled that was absolutely perfect. It was an offhanded comment, and it was done. It didn't advance the storyline. It didn't hinder the storyline. It was just bam, moving on. Now, one thing I didn't like was how they basically took us by the throat and went, "Hey, look, Billy's autistic. Billy's autistic." It's like, dude, we get it. Yes, they made so much hullabaloo in the movie to show us that Billy's autistic. They didn't need to.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong. R.J. Seiler's Billy was the glue that held the team together. He really was. He was the breakout character in that movie, which is strange. It should have been Jason, but it wasn't. But just having that constant, scythe over the head of, hey, look, he's autistic. It's like, come on, you little ham-fisted.
So you're saying that with Trini being lesbian, it was not treated as a the token, like she's a lesbian. But with RJ's or Billy, it was treated that way. Is that what you're saying?
It was not so much that it was the token thing. It was that they tried to put more focus on it than what needed to be. They tried using it it felt like they were using it as a crutch for the plot.
Yeah.
Which it didn't need it. The plot was strong enough. Then you had Dacker Montgomery.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
That guy knocked it out of the park as a different tortured Jason.
Yeah.
With Austin St. John in the show, Jason was this macho jock who was good natured. He was the all American guy.
Yeah.
This Jason was fall from grace. And we actually got to see a different side of the character that we hadn't seen, and it really helped. It really helped push the story.
And I think I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
Oh, I was gonna say Naomi Scott's Kimberly Hart.
Mm-hmm.
I dug it. With Amy Jo Johnson once again, wholesome. That character. Come on, all of us people that are our age here, we grew up, and when we saw Kimberly, Amy Jo Johnson, we're just like, we're just like, come to butthead. She was so wholesome. In this movie, it was like Naomi Scott played. How do I put it? She played like the bad bitch, Kimberly Hart, that was disgraced, and being a ranger actually kind of was her atonement. It worked really, really well. And then Ludi Lin as Zach. That dude was nuts. I loved him. I'm black. No, you're not. I am.
I think you can agree with me that when I saw the film, I thought, remember because I mentioned the Breakfast Club connection. I thought Ludi Lin performed like Judd Nelson was in the Breakfast Club. He's the Judd Nelson of the group, I think. Because he's the rebel. He's like doing his own thing.
A little bit,
but he has a heart. Yeah.
I could kind of see it. I almost would say that Ludi Lin was closer to Ali Sheedy's character. Little crazy, a little out there. You don't know anything about her.
That's a good point.
Zach and Trini kind of both encompassed the Ali Sheedy character. And then you had Kimberly, Naomi Scott with playing the role of Molly Ringwald.
Yes, Molly Ringwald.
And then obviously you had Billy playing the role of Michael Anthony Hall. And then Dacker Montgomery playing the role of Emilio Estevez.
Yes.
That's right there how it is.
Yeah.
Or that's pretty much the cast right there.
Now, go ahead, yeah.
I think that the Breakfast Club analogy is very, very apt. Very good. It works in a good way.
Yeah. That's also what I love about the movie. That and I don't know if you agree, but it took its time. It takes time for them to become Power Rangers. It's not like right off the bat. They actually have to be a team, and that's problematic. Until halfway through the movie, like they still couldn't figure out how to morph. And I think that was a good approach. Don't you think so?
I think so too, because when you look at the movie, when you look at the TV show format, they didn't have the time to really build the characters. Build the whole relationships between them, put them together. With the movie, they had the time to take it out and actually explain everything. Now, I will disagree with the vein. I think they could have gotten to it a touch sooner, because I wanted to see more of the Rangers in their armored suits fighting, and not just, hey, we're going to do 30 seconds of fighting and we're going to jump into Zords. No. I want to see some badass Ranger fighting.
Here was my concern prior to seeing the movie. that I thought that the movie was gonna tackle teen angst the same way the CW shows tackle teen
Yeah.
angst, the same way Twilight movies tackle teen angst. So because we had all those shows and Twilight movies, we thought that was gonna be the same approach. But I think the Breakfast Club analogy approach that was perfect for this
It was.
application instead of the other models. Don't you think so?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. It really was. The Dean Israelite, I believe, is
Yeah.
the guy who did the directing. He was walking a very fine line. He could either A, fall into hell and end up with Twilight, and go darker with 50 Shades of Retarded. Yes, that's right. I went there. Start writing your hate mail. 50 Shades of Retarded. Bam! Torn. But or he could end up going into CW area. But he stayed on that tightrope very, very, very easily. Especially for a director that I don't think we've seen too much of.
Mm-hmm.
He handled it very well, especially being a property that's known and loved the world over.
Now let's talk about the costumes, man. I don't know about you, when we first saw the image online, it was like a cross between RoboCop reboot costume and Iron Man. I think Iron Man 2 or 3 costumes. I was like, or whatever the Mach 2, whatever the number is. So I was a little like worried because I knew that they were going to change the costume. That was expected. I wasn't expecting it to be exactly like the original series. But man, to be for the costumes to look like those, I was surprised. But then it warmed up to me when I was watching the movie. I wasn't against it anymore. Did it warm up to you?
At first I was like, when I first saw the pictures, I was like, what the hell? Who had the love child of Alex Murphy and Tony Stark here? I couldn't figure out if Jason was going to be like, your move, creep, or if he was going to do something along the lines of a Tony Stark smile, But the suits, I got to thinking about it.
Yeah.
And with the TV show, they're bloody spandex. You can slice it, you can dress it up any way you want. They're fucking spandex. I'm sorry. Spandex with motorcycle helmet. Trust me, I know I have a suit. I cosplay as the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. So I can tell you what it is. But when you think about the damages and the battles that the Rangers would face, the high impact, they're going to need something more than fucking spandex. Enter the armor. It would make sense that they would have some sort of armor to protect them.
Mm.
Now, yeah, you could definitely argue with the whole diamond on their chest, but at the same time, anybody who knows the original series knows they had a diamond here, they had a diamond here, and they had 2 in the back. That diamond was pretty much just fan service to the original series. Mm-hmm. The one thing I didn't like about the armor part, and this is something that they started to make this mistake in the original Power Ranger movie, 1995, and they stopped them from doing it, and then they did it in this movie. When the Rangers are in their suits and they're in their uniforms, they got the helmets on, they're supposed to be a single-minded, single-unit fighting force. No identities. They are supposed to move as one, think as one. No one Ranger should be above another. Mm-hmm. And in the original 95 movie, when they originally shot the scenes with the Rangers helmets on, they took the face plates out. So that way you could see Jason, David Frank, Amy Jo Johnson, David Yost. Then they realized, wait, no, they're supposed to be a single-minded fighting unit. You're not supposed to see their face. And they fixed it, and as a result, it stayed closer to the show. Mm-hmm. In this movie, when they're all in their in the Zords, you can see their faces. I didn't like that.
Mm.
They fell prey to what they fell prey to something that the 95 movie, as shitty as it was.
Now, you brought up a good point. because that's one of the things that eventually I was okay with it, or not too. I wasn't too angry about the change because as I said earlier, there were many iterations of Power Rangers. There's the Power
Mhm.
Rangers Dino Thunder, and then Power
Right?
Rangers Lost Galaxy. And then,
Yeah.
as you see, the costumes in each of those iterations, are slightly different from each other. So,
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, you know what? It's not everything about Jason David Frank and his friends. It's always like different versions. Now,
Oh,
speaking of whom, what do you think about the cameos, man? That's pretty cool, right?
I was very shocked to see it. And the funny part about it too, when you saw them, if you paid real close attention,
Yeah.
he was wearing green, she was wearing pink.
Yes.
It was really cool to see them, especially at the end of it. They pretty much had that 40-ton smackdown against Goldar, and everything's safe. And then all of a sudden they pan to the audience or the people watching this, because obviously people don't know when to run for safety. It's like, oh hey, look, there's a big Titanic robot battle. Let's go and film it. How to run for your lives and be able to live to tell another day, you fucking idiots. Anyway, but I digest.
Which is why I think there will be a YouTube video one of these days for one of the YouTubers about casualty counts, the death kills
Yes, yes.
in the whole town of Angel Grove in that whole movie.
Oh my
you,
god,
you know you know it's about to happen one of these days. Now here's the thing. I love that Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson showed up, not the other characters or the other actors, because if you know or if you've heard, they cut out the scene. Oh, Dave, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. They cut out the scene, I think, in the trailer where Jason kissed Kimberly.
Yeah.
So it wasn't in the movie at all. And then, of course, it's like the fandom in all of us, like, yeah, it's like
I wanted it
oh,
there.
you want it to be in there, yeah. But isn't it because like in the series and in the movie version 1995, it's all about is Tommy gonna get it with Kim? That it's always that tension, right? It's not Jason and Kim, right? What do you think? so it makes sense to cut that scene out, no?
I'm a huge shipper of Jason and Kimberly. It's how it should have been.
Ah.
Tommy comes in, hey, look at me, I'm Tommy, I'm hip, I'm cool. And all of a sudden she's got her tongue wagging out. It's like, no, fuck that. Here's a little known fact for you fans,
Yes.
which, Rama, you may not know this either.
Mm.
During the making of the movie Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, when it was being written, there was a version of it where Jason and Kimberly were an item.
We're not? You mean we're not?
They were.
Oh, they
They
were.
were an they were an item during the Turbo, the Power Rangers movie.
Yeah.
That particular part of the draft was cut, but if you watch the movie and you watch Jason and Kimberly how they interact with each other, you can still see the signs of it where that was actually put in there. So like she acts a little bit more romantic towards him, a little bit more flirtatious, as opposed to she doesn't really flirt with Tommy at all anymore. Now, the person who wrote the script, Amit Vomik, I think his name is. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
He said that he intended that to be in there, but Turbo Power Rangers movie script went through so much bullshit.
Now, okay, let's talk about the looks for the Megazords.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about that? Because to me, I mean, I still, my favorite Ranger growing up was the Blue Ranger, Triceratops.
Yep.
None of those dinos in the movie version, this new one, look. They don't really look dinosaur-y. I mean, it has its essence, its features, but they don't look like you can't really easily tell. What do you think?
Well, here's the thing with that. You got to remember this is big budget,
Yeah.
and also a lot of the design artwork. It morphed through a whole bunch of changes.
Yes.
And if you go and you look at the toy, if you go to Toys R Us, you go to Walmart, you go to Target, look for the Mastodon Zord toy. You'll find that it has 8 legs, 4 on each side. I don't know about you, but Mastodon don't have that. You know, but the Zords overall,
Mm.
I'm sorry, they ain't going to be canceling the Apocalypse anytime soon. Ha ha! But I think the Zords did really well. Also, did you catch the nod to the actual TV series with the Zords?
What? Which one? Which part?
Okay, the same scene where the 95 movie theme played,
Uh,
when the Zords are going like
yeah,
this,
go go Power Rangers.
they're literally in the same positions as the TV series, and they're even running in the same direction as in the TV series when the Zords are getting ready to come together.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
I remember
getting
now.
ready. They did an homage to that. Now, as for the actual Megazord itself, I liked it. I really did. You have to remember that this isn't Pacific Rim. No, well, no. Hear me out on this.
Yeah, I hear
The
you.
construction of the mechs in Pacific Rim, everything had a function, but it was human built. It was human built.
Mm.
These Zords look completely fantastical because they're not human built.
Mm.
Their powers came from aliens. Their looks came from aliens. They were supposed to emulate the dinosaurs, but who's to say translation software didn't screw it up, and that's why they look the way they do.
Mm.
One thing I didn't like, though, was the fact that they had a ranger here, 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 and two on the legs. I'm like, no, 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 they need to be up here. If you could do that, it would have been perfect.
I think you would agree with me that Krispy Kreme sells spiked through the roof right after that movie came out.
Oh,
it
one of my,
kicked
one
Dunkin'
of
Donuts in the teeth. What's up?
one of my favorite scenes in that movie has to do with Krispy Kreme. There's this big old robot smackdown going outside, and there's Rita sitting there in a chair, all ladylike, indulging in a Krispy Kreme as the wall gets knocked down behind her, and she's showing no sort of she's like tearing up that donut, man.
I gotta tell you, I'm not. Well, I wasn't fully loving Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa, but I did not completely hate her either. But partly because it felt weird that I was attracted to Rita Repulsa. She's kind of hot, the Rita Repulsa from the TV series had this baggy clothes or whatnot, baggy,
She would have
attire.
seen
Exactly. So this one looks like seductive poison ivy. I was like, what the? Why am I attracted to Rita Repulsa? What are your
I have
thoughts about her, the villain?
right now.
I'm confused.
I have the weirdest boner right now. It's colored gold. Why?
Why do I want to fuck Rita? I'm not supposed to want to fuck Rita.
No, I didn't mind Rita. I
Uh.
thought that Elizabeth Banks brought a malevolence to Rita that we never got to see before.
Yeah.
Because Machiko Soga, God bless her heart, rest in peace. She did. She when Miss Soga played her in Super Sentai Kyoto Sentai Ranger, aka Super Sentai Dino Ranger, when she played Witch Bandora, which was actually became the basis and the adaptation for Rita Repulsa. When Machiko Soga played Witch Bandora, she was going way over the top. She was just hamming it, chewing the scenery. But in that show, Witch Bandora was a threat. If you or your listeners out there in television land or whatever ever get the chance to watch Kyoto Sentai Ranger, I highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. It takes the show Power Rangers you think you know, flips it on its head, and then promptly breaks its neck.
Mm.
It's so different. And Elizabeth Banks kind of channeled a little bit of Machiko Soga's nice, but definitely none of Rita's. Rita was just scenery chewing.
So yeah, I'm with David Lee, my fellow nerd friend, my reliable comic book geek friend, talking about Power Rangers. So the movie, the Power Rangers, the new movie. So this contains a lot of spoilers, of course, for the listeners out there. Just want to give you a heads up if you haven't watched the movie yet. Just a heads up, this contains spoilers. So what do you think? I love your claws, man.
I'm sitting here pimping while you're pimping the show.
So where do you think the story will go next for the sequel? Because Rita got thrown out into space, but not necessarily the moon. Remember, Rita's supposed to be, in the moon in the original series, or it was until she got out. So it was a different change. What do you think?
You just bitch slapped her. I know, right? It's weird. Weird, right?
Wow.
I think they might start. I know for a fact they're bringing in Tommy Oliver.
Yes.
Hey, yo, boom. And still, they're going to bring in Tommy, of course. I'm kind of hoping they maybe do a little bit of the Thunderzord thing. At least give us a little, hint of it. Or maybe even just a hint of Lord Zed. That would be pretty cool.
That's true.
Because Lord Zed is a completely American creation. He was not Sentai at all. I would love to see at the end of 2 where, Rita's actually on the moon, because they pretty much implied that Jason bitch slapped her in the moon.
Yeah, hopefully.
I would love to see at the end of 2 where Rita's like, I got my ass kicked again, and then all of a sudden you hear, dun, 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 dun. The camera goes to black, and then it opens up again, and all you see is a staff go, kabam! And they set up 3.
So it's fair to say that you are not looking forward to the possibility of a love triangle dilemma between Jason, Kimberly, and Tommy. They're going to go for that. They're going to go for that.
That depends, though. There has actually been a lot of swell about making Tommy a female in this next movie.
Oh.
Yeah. Even the cast members have actually given their approval for it.
I love that. Yeah.
I kind of dig it. It would keep him away from Jason and Kimberly. But at the same time, it would throw a little bit of a different dynamic to it. It would turn it on its head.
So not bringing back what's the name of that villain from the 95 movie? Ooze? Ivan Ooze? What do you think about him coming up? Do you think he should show up?
I would love to see Ivan Ooze show up. He'd shoot up the scenery so good.
I know, right? I think we could take a break from Rita and then bring, just another enemy for sequel, I think. That's my opinion.
Ooze, or try to, if you're going to do Goldar next time, do it right.
Yeah.
Don't make this giant gold ooze monstrosity, in the word of Jumbo Tequila.
Yeah, what's up with that? That was not Goldar that we know, man. It was liquid.
I wasn't a fan of that. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't a fan of that.
And, when Godard shows up, I was like, man, these are some cheesy visual effects. I mean, everything else looks okay. But for the Godard part, I was like, this is, you could tell that's just so fake.
It's like, damn, we ran out of budget. What are we going to do? Let's just, damn, we got this gold paint. Let's animate it.
All right.
Let's paint, go with it.
Well, thank you so much, David. You're always reliable, my friend, and thank you for this chat about Power Rangers. And
no problem.
We'll meet again to talk about Logan. All right?
Yep. Come back, bub. We'll talk about Logan soon enough.
Let's rock this. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed our conversation. Please purchase your copy of Power Rangers Blu-ray on Amazon by using the link in the description box below. Let's rock this.